restore. So we will create one Azure virtual machine, one storage account, Azure VM storage account. Inside storage account, we will create one file share, and then we will create a vault, recovery vault, where we will take backup of Azure virtual machine, backup of storage account file share, as well as we will understand if there would be any file server into your organization, that is onto on-prem. So how you will take backup of on-premise file share or file server like any FTP. So if you have any file server, so how you will take backup of on-premise file server on recovery vault. So same VM, I'm going to first we will take backup of virtual machine. Second, I will use same VM which I will assume as on-prem server, in which we will create few files and we will enable backup for those which we will assume as a file server or on-premises. Let me show you all these steps one by one so that you all can understand. So first we need to go to our portal. First of all, I'm going to create a virtual machine. So let me create a new VM. So click on create as a virtual machine. Let me create a new resource group. So resource group name will be M10 module 10 RG1 resource group 1. Virtual machine name will be VM1. VM1. Region Central India, availability zone, no infrastructure redundancy required. So trusted virtual machine. Image, I'm going to use your Windows Server 2022 data center. Username student. Password for virtual machine. Next, go to networking tab, where you can see it will create a new VNet in which you will get one subnet. That is okay. We're done with this. Let me click on review and create virtual machine. So click on review and click on create. So deployment will be start for virtual machine. Do not wait for deployment to be complete. Let's start creating a storage account. Let me create a storage account. So click on create. Resource group will be existing M10 RG1. Storage account name. So storage account name will be Sanjay Backup. Let me check. This name is available or not. Region should be same, Central India. Rest I'm leaving as it is. Let me click on review and create. Deployment will be start. Your storage account deployment will be also done in a few seconds. As you can see, there are two deployments going on, one for virtual machine, second for storage account. Third, I'm going to create recovery vault. So if you have to create recovery vault, you need to search recovery. As you can see, you will get one service here, recovery service vault. Select this option. Click on create, and you should create your recovery vault in the same region where you have your resources for which you're going to enable backup. So click on drop down, select your existing resource group, vault name. You can give any name. I'm going to give here vault 0102. Let me check. Name is available. Region will be Central India. Cross subscription restore is enabled by default for all vaults, as well as soft delete will be enabled. If you remember, so yesterday we discussed about soft delete. So by default, 14 days retention for backup data will be available. Next, vault properties, where you can enable immutability for your vault, so which will create logs. Next, networking. So by default, public access will be enabled for what? If you want, you can create a private access using private link, which I'm not going to do right now. Next tag, review and create. As you can see, Geo application, that is enabled, and soft delete, that is also enabled by default. Click on create. Vault will be also created. Meanwhile, I'm going to connect my virtual machine which I deployed. So let me open a duplicate tab. So go to virtual machine services and click on connect. Connect your Azure virtual machine using RDP. Select native RDP option. Download RDP file. Username, password. So as you can see, virtual machine is connected. Let me do one thing. Let me go to File Explorer and let me create one folder in which I'm going to store files. So C drive, where I'm going to create a folder. Folder name will be data. And let me copy few files from my local system, which I'm going to store inside this data folder. Totally up to you. Either you can create your on files as well. Let me go to AC305. Let me copy. And let's paste inside the virtual machine. So we have few files inside this folder. We will assume later we are going to use this folder, correct? So right now we created one folder and we stored some data inside that folder. Now go to your portal. As you can see, now deployment for recovery vault is also done. So first I'm going to show you how we will take backup, how we will enable backup for Azure virtual machine. Second, I'm going to show you how we will enable backup for Azure file share. And then I'll show you restore as well. Third, I will show you how we will take backup of on-premise files and folder. Then this module will be complete. And we will start next module, module number 9. So meanwhile, let me show you, let me go to my storage account as well, just because we are going to take backup of file share. So let me go to Sanjay backup storage account. And left hand side, I'm going to file share. Let me create a file share. So file share name, I'm going to give here. Let me create again. Sanjay, file share name will be Sanjay. Tier will be transaction optimized. Next, go to backup. I'm not going to enable backup from this. If you want, you can select this option. By default, this will be enabled, where you can create a new recovery vault, or you can select your existing. If you can see here, by default, existing is selected here. Just because I already have an existing vault in the same region. So if I will create a new file share, so file will be automatically enabled into this vault. But what if I have to configure backup through vault? How we will do that? Here, that is simple. Let me remove this option. I will show you from vault. Inside vault, let me click on review. Let me click on create this file share. So let me now upload few files inside this file share. So Again, I'm going inside AZ305 folder. Let me select images and show files. Upload. So files are uploaded. Left hand side, you can go to Browse tab where you would be able to see whatever data you have uploaded. That is okay. Now go to Recovery Vault, which you created for backup, which you can see here, Vault 0102. Open this vault. So first of all, let me guide you. There are two options, backup and enable site recovery. So backup is basically for backing up data. Site recovery means I can create a disaster recovery for Azure, for on-prem. Into on-prem, if I'm using Hyper-V based data center, I can create disaster recovery for Hyper-V. That is secondary site for on-premise data center on cloud using enable site recovery. If I'm using VMware based data center, so where I'm using VMware ESXi server and vCenter, so again I can create secondary site for VMware as well. So due to compliance, now based on the compliance, if due to business criticality, if we have to create secondary site, so we can create secondary site on cloud as well. So if any disaster happen to your on-premise data center, you can fail over to cloud. Correct. Let me show you this option, but again, that is not in our syllabus. So I can create a disaster recovery for Azure virtual machine, for VMware based virtual machine, for Hyper-V based virtual machine. So site recovery as well as I can replicate also. Like if you want to migrate one or two servers, so you have SharePoint, you have SQL database, which you want to migrate on Azure, you can do that also by using this option where you can replicate your servers, on-premise servers to physical server or VMware based server or Hyper-V based server. You can replicate to cloud. So let me go back to overview tab of my vault where you can see we have option for backup. Let's click on backup. Now what type of workload you're going to backup? So if you click on drop down, we can backup Azure resources, Azure Stack Hub, Azure Stack HCI and on-premises. First we are going to set up Azure. Second, we will learn on-premise. So let me select here Azure. Then what type of resource? In Azure, hope you remember, we already discussed we can take backup of Azure Virtual Machine, Azure File Share, SQL Database Virtual Machine, and SAP HANA Virtual Machines, which you can see here. So Virtual Machines, Azure File Share, SQL Server into Azure Virtual Machine, and SAP HANA into Azure Virtual Machine. I'm going to select here Azure Virtual Machine. Now click on Backup, where we have two options, standard and enhance. So if I will use standard, so my security type for virtual machine, it should be standard. But if you remember, like let me show you once again so that you can understand this concept also. Let me go to virtual machine. Let me show you that page from where we are going to set up this. In trusted security type, where you can see we selected trusted. Now how you will configure backup, what option you will choose, standard or enhance. So it depends on your security type. If you selected standard, so you will get basic level of security on your virtual machine. If you selected trusted virtual machines or confidential virtual machines, where you will get security, you will get BitLocker and TPM enable generation to virtual machines. So if you selected trusted virtual machine, just because we created trusted virtual machine, in that case we have to select enhance option. So it depends on your security type, but what benefit we will get here. So as you can see, if your virtual machine is standard, you will get once a day backup, your backup frequency, 1 to 5 days operational tier for backup, vault tier you will get, but zone redundant snapshots you will not get into standard. Supported for trusted Azure virtual machine? No, there is no support for TPM. So TPM support is in enhanced version. Multiple backups per day, 1 to 30 days operational tier, vault tier we will get, zone redundant snapshots we will get, and support for trusted Azure virtual machines. That is available into enhanced version. So we are going to select enhance. Second option, backup policy. So by default, you will get one policy here, which is known as default policy. If you want, you can create your custom policy as well. Like you can click on create new policy, where you can see you will provide your policy name first, then your frequency, hourly, daily, or weekly. And you can select your schedule, time zone. So as per your schedule, Azure will start backup. Then retention, period, which you can say it will be between 1 to 17 days, must be 5 for backup policy. What it is basically. So hope you all remember when you will enable backup for Azure virtual machine. So first Azure will take snapshot of your virtual machine. So snapshot will be initially it will be stored into Azure's into your customer storage account. That means into your storage account. So if any snapshot which will be stored into your storage account, it means there would be charges. So and then after that, once it will be but when snapshot will be available or it will be stored into your storage account, it will be replicated to recovery vault. So once it will be replicated into recovery vault, after replication, it should be deleted. So that is called retention period here. So retaining your snapshot into your storage account. So after 7 days, your snapshot will be deleted from your storage account. So no need to store snapshot into your storage account, otherwise there would be charges. So which you can configure here 7 days, 5 days, 10 days based on your frequency. Now again, your backup retention period. So retention period for daily backup, 30 days. Retention period for weekly backup, which you can configure for monthly backup, for yearly backup. If I'm going to select a yearly backup, so maximum retention period for yearly backup would be 99 years. Let me show you here. 99 years, which you can see. So value must be between 1 to 99. Let's check here 100. So value must be between 1 to 99. So here you will get long-term retention for backup. I'm going with default one. Let me cancel it. So you can customize your policy based on your requirement. I'm going with default policy. Now click on add so that you can add your resource for which you can enable your backup. Let me click on add. It will scan. It will discover all virtual machines in the same region. So as you can see, VM1 is available. Let me select VM1. Click on OK. It will validate your virtual machine. Let me click on enable backup. So backup will be enabled, but it doesn't mean that your backup will be start. So backup will be start as per the schedule in your policy. So backup will be enabled for this virtual machine, and as per the schedule, backup will be start. Job will be start. So backing up your data. So it will take few minutes. Meanwhile, let me go back to recovery vault and let's enable backup for file share as well. So let me go back to my vault. Same option, backup, workload, Azure, workload type, Azure file share. Click on backup. Select your storage account in which you have your file share. So as you can see, first time what happens, it will not discover your storage account. No need to worry about that, but cancel it and rescan. As you can see, now the two storage account discovered. So I have my file share into Sanjay backup. Let me select this storage account. Let me click on OK. It will be now registered with my vault, and whatever file shares I have inside the storage account, all file shares would be discovered. Then I can select my backup option for particular file share, or I can enable for all file shares within this storage account, or totally up to me. So let's wait for registration. Once registration will be complete, we'll discover our file share as well. As you can see, now storage account is registered. Let me click on add so that I can discover my file share. As you can see, there's one file share, Sanjay. Let me select it. Let me click on OK. And now again, you can create policy, custom policy for your file share, where you can select your frequency, daily and hourly, and your retention period for daily, for weekly, for monthly, for yearly. Yearly maximum range. Let me show you. I'm going to type a 20. So let's check. Value must be between 1 to 10 years. So maximum retention period is 10 years for file share. Let me cancel it. I'm going to use this default policy. Let me click on enable backup. So stop delete will be enabled for file share as well. And if you will delete your backup or stop your backup, so there is a retention period of 14 days. So in between 14 days, you would be able to undelete and you can resume your backup. On 15th day, your backup data will be deleted permanently. So backup is enabled for virtual machine. Backup will be enabled for my file share. Let me go back to recovery vault and let me show you how we can trace, how we can monitor. So left hand side, if you want to check how many backups are enabled. So left hand side, scroll down under protected items tab. You will get tab backup items. Click on it. So right now backup is enabled for Azure virtual machine and backup is enabled for Azure file share. Let me go to Azure virtual machine. So there's one VM, VM1, which is protected through backup, but backup is pending. No worries. What we can do, right hand side you can see there's a tab, view details. Click on view details. Here you would be able to see there's no backup. There are three types of backup which you will get: crash consistent, application consistent, and file system consistent. It means if my disk corrupt, I would be able to restore disk only on my virtual machine. If my virtual machine deleted, I can create a new virtual machine. Correct. If few files are deleted, I can recover files as well. So right now there's no backup available. So what we are going to do, we're going to click on backup now manually just because it will start backup as per the schedule. Let me click on backup now. And this would be a retain point, backup retain point. Click on OK. It will be triggered here. If you want to trace your jobs, on same page you can see there's a tab, view jobs. Follow my cursor where you can see view jobs. Click on view jobs and you would be able to see. So backup is enabled and now backup is in progress. It will take few minutes to complete your backup. So let's wait for a few minutes. Backup is enabled. Let me go back to my vault items, backup items tab. Let me go to file share and let's do the same thing for file share as well. Where you can see one file share which is protected from this storage account, Sanjay backup storage account. Click on view details. Here you can see backup is pending. There is no backup available. Let me click on backup now. Click on OK. Backup will be triggered and you can see your backup jobs. So click on view jobs. Backup is pending. So it will be enabled again. It will take few minutes to enable your backup. Let's wait for that. Once backup will be enabled, once backup will be completed, backup job will be completed. I'll show you how we store our items and how we will restore. So let's wait for backup to be complete. Once backup will be completed, I'll show you how we will do that. Let me go to Azure virtual machine and let me check my jobs. So initial backup is pending, still pending. So we have to wait for backup to be complete. So file share, backup is completed. So let's do one thing. Let's understand first of all the restore process for file share. What I'm going to do on duplicate tab, I'm going to search storage account. Let me open my storage account for which I enable backup. Let me go to file share. Let me open my file share. Let's go to browse tab where we have data and do one thing, delete your data. So I'm going to delete AZ105, 204 and 304. So I deleted 3 files from my file share. Now I have to recover those files. So either I can, might be I enabled snapshot, correct? Or if there's no snapshot, then backup is there. So left hand side, you will get backup tab where you can see same interface you will get here, which you configured on Vault. Here we have restore, share option and file recovery. What it does mean? What is the difference between restore, share and file recovery? So restore share means if we deleted whole file share, so we can restore complete file share as well. If we deleted few files, we can recover files as well. So we deleted few files, we are going to recover file. Let me click on file recovery. So select your restore point. So there could be multiple restore points as per the frequency of backup. As you can see, we have only one restore point. Select restore point, click on OK. Then where you want to restore, like original location or to alternate location, that means in different storage account or in different file share, I'm going to restore into original location. Let me select option overwrite existing or skip. I'm going with overwrite existing. Right now we do not have any existing file. Click on add files. It will list all the files which you have in backup. So select the files which you want to recover. Click on select and then click on restore. So files will be restored inside your file share. Let me go back to browse tab. As you can see, easy 105, 204 and 305. All files are now restored from your backup. That's how we can restore files. So file share from Azure Recovery Vault. Let me go back to my previous tab and let me check backup for virtual machine. Still initial backup is pending. Let me check view details. Let me go to view jobs. So backup is in progress. If you want, you can check your detail for backup that is in progress. So take snapshot that is in progress, transfer data to vault. That means if you remember, first it will take snapshot of your virtual machine. Second, it will transfer snapshot into Azure Recovery Vault. The two processes. But we have to wait again just because snapshot is in progress and again it will take few minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to show you on-premise files and folder backup, how we will configure for same virtual machine, this virtual machine. Now we all need to assume that this VM is our on-premise file server. This virtual machine is our on-premise file server and we are using one folder which we shared and which we need to protect, in which we have our data. So in C drive we have a folder, data folder, in which we have data, and this folder we need to protect. So, and again, as per the compliance, we need to take backup on Azure. How we will do that? So first of all, we need to log into Azure portal inside our on-premise server. So let me go to Microsoft Edge browser. First configure Edge browser. Let me search portal.azure.com. We need to log in into our local system where we have our file server. So log into your Azure portal. Now, first you need to log into your Azure portal. Second, you need to go to your recovery vault, which you created. So open your vault and set up backup for on-premise. So click on backup, add backup tab, and this time you will select your workload running on on-premise. And in on-premises, hope you all remember, we already discussed we would be able to enable backup for multiple services. We can enable backup for files and folder, for Hyper-V based virtual machine, for VMware based virtual machine, for Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft SharePoint, Microsoft Exchange Server, System State Bare Metal. Right now in our syllabus, we have files and folder backup. So select files and folder. If you are going to select files and folder, you need to set up, you need to prepare your infrastructure. So click on prepare infrastructure and download agent. Hope you all remember, For files and folder, we need to download one AZ, which will connect your on-premise server to recovery vault, Azure recovery vault. So let's download this agent. First step is downloading agent. So download Mars agent, Microsoft Azure recovery service agent. So this Mars agent will be downloaded inside your local system. Second, you need to download vault credentials through which you will be authenticated. The vault credential will be downloaded. We downloaded two things. Now do one thing, go to File Explorer and Downloads folder. First run your MSI file, your agent inside your local system, on-premise system, and install. Best part is once it will be installed, you will get a tool on your local system. So no need to access Azure portal for backup and restore. You can manage your backup and restore from your local system only. Correct? So this will be similar to your Windows Server backup. So you will get same experience. First, where you want to install files in C drive. C drive would be the default path. Let me click on next. If you're using any proxy, so you provide your proxy settings here. So I'm not using right now. Click on next. Update. Right now I'm going to block update, but yes, into on-premises you will enable update. Click on next. So Microsoft .NET Framework 4.5 and PowerShell is required. That is prerequisite for this tool. This agent. Click on install. Installation is simple for this agent. As you can see, you will get one tool here on your desktop, Microsoft Azure Backup. Correct. And you would be able to, basically you will manage your backup and restore through local system only using this tool. So there's no role of Azure Vault now. So storage will be recovery vault only. But again, I cannot check backup. It means I cannot restore or I cannot start backup from recovery vault. So recovery vault is only storage, for storage. Rest you will manage from your on-premise server. Once this tool will be installed, as you can see, we have option proceed to registration. Click on proceed to registration. Here, it will ask you to browse your vault credential, which you downloaded from Azure. Let's go to browse tab, click on browse. Go to downloads folder, select your vault credentials, open. Then you will get your vault name, your vault reason, subscription in which you have your vault and vault credential expiry date. Click on next. So we need to provide a passphrase here, which should be 16 character long. So let me provide a passphrase, 16 character, and you need to encrypt this passphrase. Click on generate passphrase. It will be encrypted. Once it will be encrypted, where you want to store this passphrase. So I want to store into, let me select a path. On local system. Let me create a new folder on desktop. Folder name will be key. Click on OK. And then click on finish. But do one thing. Remember one thing. Might be you will get question into your exam, as well as you will get question into your interview. If you are storing your passphrase on local system, this would be a vulnerable practice that is not recommended by Azure. Why? Let's understand this concept first. After then we will. So assume this would be my local system, my file server FS1 into on-premises. Here we have our vault 0102, and this file server is connected to our vault. So your passphrase which you stored on this local system, that is key, into key folder. What if this server corrupted, hardware corrupted? There would be some disaster to your server and you're not able to recover this server. Or if there would be any ransomware attack on your server. So server will be encrypted by hacker. So our data will be encrypted by hacker and your key will be also encrypted. In that case, if you will bring new server, in both cases, correct, due to disaster and due to ransomware, you're not able to recover server, so you will bring new server, which you will configure like FS2 or FS3 or FS1. You will connect the server to your vault, but how? And you want to restore your data because data is available in vault. And I want to restore this data to a new server. In that case, Azure will ask you to provide passphrase. That's why that is not recommended by Azure to store passphrase locally on your system. So create copy of passphrase into alternate location, like either into a file share or into Azure Key Vault services or into a network drive or into a flash drive, external drive, so that in disaster scenario, you would be able to recover, restore your data into a new server. If you do not have key, then you cannot recover your data. Even the data is available into vault, but you cannot recover data on new server. On same server, no key is required. On same server, no key is required. If I'm going to restore data on a new server, passphrase will be required. That's why that is not recommended to store locally. Let me click on finish and you will get warning here. Just because I'm storing my keys on local system, my passphrase on local system. As you can see, now file server is registered, but we have one warning here. Storing passphrase locally can lead to passphrase loss. And due to deletion and ransomware attack, Microsoft cannot help you to recover your data if the passphrase is lost. So save a copy of passphrase to another computer or to Key Vault, Azure Key Vault immediately, so that in worst to worst condition you would be able to recover your data on a new system. Let's click on close. So whenever you will click on close, you will get your recovery service wizard, which you can see here. Now, left hand side, you can see we have an option to schedule backup. Click on schedule backup and configure your backup. So right hand side. So right hand side, you will get this option. Let me close it and let me show you once again. Right hand side, you will get second option, schedule your backup. You will get wizard to configure backup. Click on next. Add items, select your items which you want to add inside your backup. Expand C drive. In C drive we have data folder and I'm going to take backup of, going to configure backup of data folder. If you want, you can exclude items from backup. That's totally up to you. Click on next. The frequency, I'm going with default. Retention period, I'm going with default. How you're going to transfer your data over internet, or you can use offline options as well. Hope you all remember. We already discussed in module number 7. We can use Microsoft Azure Data Box and disk, which you can see, or you can send your on disk as well. I'm going with online. Click on next. Finish. So configuring backup, again, it will enable backup, but enabling backup doesn't mean that it will start backup. No, Backup will be started as per the schedule. So right hand side, now I'm going to take backup manually. So backup now. Click on next. We're going to take backup of files and folder. C drive. Date, that means restore point. Click on backup. Immediately backup job will be start. As you can see, taking snapshot. It will be completed in few minutes. And once it will be completed, I'll show you how we will restore. So ultimately, once your virtual machine, once your server, on-premise server will be connected with your work, you would be able to manage your backup and restore from your local system only. No need to go to Azure Recovery Vault. When your file will be deleted or server is corrupted, you're going to bring new server. Only in that case you will go to Recovery Vault. So as you can see, backup job is completed. Now click on close. We have one backup here. Let's go to C drive and delete our folder, complete folder. So let me delete this folder. Let me go to desktop and let me empty this recycle bin for permanent delete. So permanently we deleted. Now do one thing. Go back to your Vault wizard, Azure Backup wizard. Right hand side, you will get restore option, recover data. Click on it. Where you want to recover this server, that means on same server, no passphrase is required. If you will select another server, passphrase will be required. Click on next. So primary reason, yes. Click on next. Individual files and folder, yes. If you want, you can recover full volume as well. Let me click on next. Select a volume for which you enable backup. We enable backup for C drive. Select your restore point. Right now we have only one restore point. Click on mount. So backup will be mounted into your system as a drive. Let me show you. So here we have C drive, D drive. You will get another drive here. As you can see, now I'm getting F drive. Open F drive in which we have data folder, in which we have data. Let me do one thing. Let me copy complete folder. And let me go back to C drive. And let me post my folder here. That's how you can recover your data. Once data will be recovered, you need to click on unmount. And F drive will be unmounted. So we can enable backup through local system and we can restore backup through local system. That's how you will enable and restore backup from local system for Azure file share. Next option, let me go back to my portal. Let me go back to Vault and let me check my virtual machine backup. So backup items tab. Now we have three backups here. Azure virtual machine backup, backup for on-premise, which you can see here as a backup agent, mass agent, and backup for file share. Let me go to Azure virtual machine where you can see backup is completed. Let me click on view details where you would be able to see we have full backup, application consistent backup, which is known as full backup for your virtual machine. And we have option here, two options, recover VM and file share, file recovery, sorry. Let me show you options into recover VM so that we can understand restore process. So click on restore VM. Here we have two options. First, you need to select your restore point. So we have one restore point right now here. Select this restore point. We have two options, create new, replace existing. Create new means my virtual machine is deleted along with disk, correct? But we have backup in Vault. So we can create new virtual machine. So where you have to provide your virtual machine name, new virtual machine name, resource group in your virtual machine in which your virtual machine will be created, then virtual network and subnet in which your virtual machine will be placed, and storage account. Staging location means storage account where your virtual machine VHD file will be created. created. Virtual hard disk will be created. First option you will select for restoring your virtual machine, complete virtual machine. Second option, replace existing. What it does mean by replace existing? So in replace existing, it will only replace your disk. Your disk is corrupted, it will only replace your disk. That is called replacing existing. So you have virtual machine, your disk is corrupted, you can restore your disk, you can replace your disk, where you will provide your storage account in which your VHD file, your disk file will be stored. I'm not going to use both options. That is only for understanding purpose. I'm going to show you file recovery, how we can recover file, individual files through backup. Let me go back to inside my virtual machine. Let me go to my portal. Let me go to Vault. Go to backup items. I'm inside my virtual machine, and let me do one thing first. Let me go to File Explorer and let me go to C drive. Inside C drive, I'm going inside Windows. Under Windows, I'm going inside let me go back. Let me delete this folder, data folder, which we created before. Backup. So this folder is deleted. Now we do not have folder data inside our virtual machine as a virtual machine. How we will recover this folder? So we will go to our Vault. Inside this virtual machine, we'll go to Azure Virtual Machine. Right hand side, click on View Details. Click on File Recovery. Select your restore point for file recovery. Right now we have only one restore point. So generally you will select your latest restore point. Click on Download Executable. What it is, so basically you will get a PowerShell script. So which will mount a disk using iSCSI disk, iSCSI drive into your inside your virtual machine. So let me click on Download Executable. It will be downloaded, and once it will be downloaded, you need to paste a password, and again you will get password here. It will take few minutes. Let's wait. So click on Download now. Script is available. Copy this password and do one thing. Go to File Explorer and run your script. PowerShell script. So downloads. Run this script. It will ask password. Paste your password which you copied. Press enter. It will generate a PowerShell script which will create a iSCSI drive, which will mount iSCSI drive into your local system. Wait. So as you can see, connection succeeded. Now go to File Explorer and check. So go to this PC where you can see you will get a new drive here, F drive. Open this F drive. Inside F drive you can see we have a data folder in which we have data. So copy this data folder from F drive, go back to C drive and paste inside C drive. Once restore will be completed, go back to your PowerShell script, press Q to quit and click on unmount disk. Disk will be unmounted. Once this will be unmounted, it means we are done with restore process for virtual machine. This is how we can restore files here, Azure virtual machine, on-premise files. We are done with this module. If you have any query, you can ask your question related to backup.
Sanjay,
Yes, Naushad.
if we have already this physical servers data center, we have there is a lots of so how we can from on premises we can take the backup on Azure.
Okay, so what we will do, let me go back to my slides. What we will do, assume this would be my on-prem data center.
Yes, the physical.
Correct?
Yeah.
Physical data center. On-prem means physical data center, where we have multiple servers like Azure AD server, DNS server, file server, print
application
server,
yes,
application server, web server. Correct? There are lots of servers which are available inside my data center, physical data center. Physical DC, correct?
Yeah.
And here into Azure, we have our recovery vault. And all these servers are placed on different ESXi host.
Right.
Correct? VMware ESXi host. So what is my requirement? I need to take backup of all these server on recovery vault on Azure, correct?
Azure, right.
So yeah. So what we will do, we will go to Azure, we will go to our vault, and here we will go to backup tab, click on add backup, and you will select a workload running on premises, correct?
Okay.
Then you will go to your workload, you will select VMware virtual machine, this option.
Okay.
After then you will prepare your infrastructure. So how you will prepare your infrastructure? You will download this server, MABS server, Microsoft Azure Backup Server. So you will download you will get basically a OVA file, which will be 10 to 12 GB. Again, hope you remember OVA.
Yeah, right.
So you will get a OVA file. What you have to do now, you have to create a virtual machine on any EXI server. Or might be you're using vCenter. Correct? So using vCenter, you will create a new VM in which you will use this OVA file, which you will download from Azure. Correct? And this OVA file is now connected into your data center. It will discover all the servers. And this OVA file, it will create MABS server, Microsoft Azure Backup Server, into your data center, which is connected to Azure Recovery Vault using Mars agent. So this would be the process. So you will discover now all servers, and you would be able to take backup of your all on-premise server on Azure Recovery Vault. So you have to download this agent. And after
this agent need to download in this Azure server or this a physical local?
It's a physical tool which you will download. It will be downloaded on your local system, and using this MABS server, you will create a virtual machine. Remember, I will click on download. As you can see, when I will click on download, so here you can see this would be your process. So you can click on download. You will select your language, download. So how you're going to download? You're going to download exe bin. Correct. So we have bin for Linux.
Linux. So we go to exe, right?
Exe, click on download, and it will be downloaded. You will run this MABS server. So it's a server. Might be you are already using any Microsoft product, backup product into your data center. Second option, like I'm using DPM, which is a System Center product provided by Microsoft, Data Protection Manager, into on-premise, into physical data center. So if I'm using DPM, so DPM is directly supported to Vault. In that case, no need to configure MAPS server. You can directly connect DPM to Azure Recovery Vault, and you would be able to transfer your backup data to Recovery Vault. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Hope that is clear. As you can see, first option here on this tab, already using System Center Data Protection Manager. So no need to set up all these steps. If you are already using, select this option, correct, and you will get a agent, mask agent, which you need to install only inside DPM. And DPM will be connected to Recovery Vault directly. If you are not using DPM, then you need to follow these steps. Hope that is clear.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Anything else which you want to ask? Hope this model is clear. Practically and practically both.